Greetings, beautiful souls. Welcome to Soul Healing Journey. I am feeling so honored and so happy that I actually can share this beautiful time with you, that you have taken a time from your busy life and share it here with you to walk with me in our spiritual bodies, connect with our physical bodies on this 3D plane, and go and have a journey on the 45D and the higher astral plane with our spiritual body and walk the same journey for about 1 hour of our time. As we do this, we share our energy, we exchange the energy, we exchange the ancient symbols that each of us carry. And perhaps the piece of the puzzle that you may look for, I can offer you. Perhaps the piece of the puzzle that I am looking for, I receive from you. This is the time of the learning, growing, and the sharing. If this is your first time, please enjoy the message in the beginning, and then we will join in the guided meditation on the soul healing journey. If this is a repeated time, you already know what's going to happen. There's going to be some great message. A few days ago, I have received a message that I should call this session for the love of the God. And I was thinking, oh God, what I'm going to talk about, what it is, that message that I should share. Now, the day before the session, I went for a walk, and I live in the South Carolina. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. There's so many of the green trees and the nature, and I love nature. And I'm walking around, and I started to think in my native language, in the Czech language, in my mind, in my head. And it's been a long time that I actually talked in the Czech language in my head. If any of you speak the second language or third or fourth language, you know that it's easier to speak the language when you think that language in your mind instead of thinking in one language and translating into another language. And it reminded me of our differences, of how different we think we are. We think that we came from different countries. We separate ourselves by languages. We separate ourselves by the color, or if it's not us who separating ourselves, the others may separate us just by the vision, by the color of our hair, by the size of our body, the color of our eyes, and so much on, to what kind of the language we speak, what kind of accent we have. There's always something different we want to see on each of us. And there's that great thing that nobody is the same, so we are all unique, and so much on. And as much as that is true, the aspect of us, the core energy, the core soul of us is the same. It doesn't matter of the what language we talk, or from which country we were born, of the which color our skin is, or what grades do we have at the school. It doesn't matter. The core, the soul, the energy that actually fuel this body, or brings this body into the life for the time of the being here on the earth. It's powered by the energy of the God. It's the God's energy. And the God's energy that is in every single one of us. And as the message was going in my head, my messages come, so there was a telepathic talks that come to my head. It play into this way. So I tell you here that we each have a God within us. My job is to empower you, that you will find your own connection to your own godness within you. And that by the end of this 1 hour that we spent together, you have a tool that will help you to change the way how you think, or to change your subconscious mind and empower your conscious mind to understand how this works. But I could totally address this session in a different way. I could have begun with this. I get the message from the God. And the God said this and that. And if I will be very persistent, I will be repeating the message. And every single time we meet here by our 1 hour session that I do twice a month, and I will be telling you how God spoke to me and how I have to speak to you around the message. And because I am intuitive and can predict some of the things, you would most likely believe me after a while when you see like, wow, this happened and that happened. And I could easily take the control over you. So bear with me where I'm going with this. There it is. We are separated by the color and the nation and the language, yet we have that core of the belief, the light within us that the God gave us. And that there is this power that we could have of one person telling somebody that the God spoke to him or to her and totally convince you about the messages that the God gave me. And you can live by that belief. So what I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to, in a really complicated way, I think, to explain the love of the God is that the God is within us. And it is our responsibility to find that light within us. It doesn't matter what is the God, what is it that you believe or I believe. There may be several gods. There are actually many gods. What I believe that originally came here and started to create a different nations. That's perhaps why we have a different skin color and why we look at each other, that we are different. So why there could not have been a different gods who came and created this earth? But there is a high entity who created these gods, or who told them, hey, you go down there and you create them and you help them to grow. And once they grow and once they learn, help them to believe in themselves. Help them to distinguish that part of it, that one person will come and say that she spoke to the God and God spoke to him. And this person will become the messenger, the only messenger, and easily can turn the message from the God into something that just benefits that one person. Or we each can take that responsibility of the learning and the growing and the changing. And each of us can have that message from the God within us and follow that message and create an amazing life for yourself and show it to the others as well. It is a time that we raise out into our energy and stop just to be follower of everything that everyone says. Of course, it's nice and beautiful. It's great to learn from those amazing people that have something to share that you can learn from, as Bruce Lipton and Craig Braden and the others in the same mind and the energy and so much on. But in all of it, in all these great lectures and the energies and messages from wherever they come from, there's this golden net, there's a golden net energy, there's the Akashic record, there's these gods, there are the Pleiadians and Sirians, which I would consider as a gods and so much on, and this high energy of the God. Yes, the messages are coming from the left to the right. But where do we fail is to take that message and actually put it into the work. So for the love of the God, let's learn to do this. Let's learn to receive the messages that each of you can receive. And let's put it out into the work. And let's make this world a better place. Let's grow, and let's grow in the faster rate than we were ever growing before, which we know is absolutely possible. Now, before we get into that, we also want to address our mind. So we know we have this subconscious mind, conscious mind, and superconscious mind. To me, the subconscious mind is sort of representation of your past and the past life. Anything in the past can be considered that even everything that happened in this lifetime until the second ago, it's already in your subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind has a programming. And the programming has been instilled there a long, long, long time ago. So as in the Bible, it says when the people were trying to build the tower to the Babylon to go and reach the gods came down, they confused the language. So the people cannot forget how to build this bridge to the Babylon, to forget how to communicate each other and sort of, create a chaos. Like, oh my God, we each have a different languages. We don't understand each other. We have to learn and we have to focus on the survival. Then I believe another confusion was in the changing the chromosomes, fusing the chromosomes together and shortening the lifetime because we were just growing and learning too fast and sort of, to control our lifetime. Then another subconscious programming was to create a hatred, anger, to be warlike, to be chaotic, and so much on. If you look at the world, so before I go, if you look at the world, this is written or put in our subconscious mind sometime I don't know how many thousands of years ago, and it goes with us and goes with us and goes with us. We says that the natural energy of the earth, that magnetic pull that we have here, is the jealousy and the greediness and the emotions and chaos and the drama and the sadness and God, when you're looking at the Bible from the book of the Genesis, it is the one person hating the one another, the going and the kill and so much on until you come to the scenes. And it's an interesting, very interesting book to read that I just started to read, and I'm quite distraught by it. But anyway, my story aside is that I realize, and I think many of us already realize, that we carry that energy within us of the jealousy, the greediness, the anger. Why my eyes are blue and your eyes are brown? I really want to have the brown eyes. Or as an example, when the girls are growing up, they says, I don't want to have a straight hair. I really want to have a curly hair. And the girls with the curly hair goes, I don't want to have a curly hair. I want to have a straight hair. It seems like we cannot be content with what we have. You have a house and you're looking at your neighbor who may have a better house, and you start to be jealous, or kind of hiding inside of you says, well, I would like to have a better house. Why can I have a better house? Oh, he has a better job, he has it easy, and so much on. There's like that preconceived energy that fuel into one another, and you says, okay, so you have to learn about the love, you have to learn about the energy healing, you have to learn to be content, you have to learn not to be negative, to turn the negativity into the positivity. And you have done all of this, and you says, well, when is gonna end? When this feeling's going to end? When is my luck going to change? When I start to feeling better and attracting what I want in my life, and when it's gonna happen? It's gonna happen when you reach in your subconscious mind and start to reprogramming yourself. And that's gonna go very much in your current life, in your conscious mind, in your current energy, in everyday life, in your present energy. When this start happening, your subconscious mind, that's your higher self, that's where you can feel that the God talks to you. And God does talk to us every day. He's there every single day. But God loved us so much that he gave us that part inside of us that we can heal, that we can do anything that we want to. We just don't know how. And he's up there, or it's up there, because it's not he or she. There's not one entity. There's this huge puddle of the energy, perhaps you can say, and says, well, sweetie, just figure it out. Just don't be afraid. Just love, don't be afraid, and do it. So there comes the steps by the steps by the steps. So that step what I'm talking about is to go and address the subconscious mind. Go into that energy and start to realizing the pattern. It is very helpful that you take a piece of the paper and you start writing the repeating pattern. What is happening? What makes you upset? We are the humans. The human part of us get angry, get upset. Why you are upset? Why you get frustrated? What does trigger it? The fears are huge. You feel like, well, I have no fear. I'm pretty good. I asked one of my clients to go home and write down her fears. So what she took, she has one or two fears, came the whole page of the fears, and she looked at it and she looked at me and she says, oh my God, I didn't know I had so many fears. And some of them are absolutely ridiculous. And when you look, later on with the retrospect into all of them, they are really ridiculous, but yet they are so real and so out there that they really pull and squeeze you out. So I'll be going back and forth, and maybe please catch that right message that you have to. If you are supposed to understand the message, I bet you will understand. If not, it's going to sound like a scramble, mumble, jumble. And so anyway, to going back and forth, we looking at the nations, at here the countries that we have today, and we see how the one country is hating another country, how one religions want to prove that it's better than the other, how one is more poor, one is more rich, and so much on. And instead of one person reaching to the another, everybody just wants to pull the other person down, wants to pull the other person on their own belief. And the only way that people know so far, or majority people know so far, is by the force. To do this, by the dominating one another, and so much on. And when you're looking back at the World War II, World War One, or any huge and major conflict, people didn't really know where to stop. They were following their leaders. Now, I would not put any judgment on any side, and I would not take any side that one side was better than the other. There is no better than the other. There is no that this were hood more and this were hood more. Everyone was hood. Everyone suffered. If you look at it from each point of view, everyone hood, everyone suffered, everyone was traumatized by all what have happened. Yet, nobody wanted to stop. People didn't stop. They didn't stop to rebel. They just followed that one person in the lead who says, you go this way, you go that way, you shoot this person, you shoot that person, let's do this and let's hype up each other to do it. So we are not too afraid to do it, yet we were too afraid. And so much on. The point is that the God itself, that almighty entity up there, would never, ever want us to do this because it's pointless. Because this is the pattern that is repeating for how many thousands of years. There's war this way, there's war that way, there's conflict this way. What did we learn from it? Nothing. We learn that by the power of somebody overpowering somebody else, one can be in the power. And that's all. Even as a parent, sometimes we feel that just to get that message to the child, we have to raise that voice because they stop and do their big eyes at you. And we go like, okay. And I'm guilty of it as well. But as long as we consciously start realizing it and stopping ourselves and says, hey, look, I'm really mad, but we can do it this way. You can see me very often walking by the house, me saying to kids, I'm really, really mad. Just don't push me. I'm really mad. I don't want to yell. And so much on. And, we kind of learn to work with it because we are the humans and we have to learn to work with it. So for the love of the God, we have to learn to realize that love within us and that subconscious programming that we have, that we carry, the subconscious programming of the failure, and that we will be angry and that we will lose it somewhere at a point or so much on. There is so much of pressure of the life that's really leading us to that edge. And you're feeling like you're standing on the ledge of a mountain and you feel, well, should I push myself? Should somebody push me that I fall over, or will I stand here and be just really afraid and hold with all my mind that I'm not gonna go over, that I'm not gonna fall over, that I'll just be up there? And the biggest joke is that if you give that push, if you find that fearless energy within you, that you may realize that you can fly. That you will not get killed, that you don't fall, that you can fly, or there's something that's going to save you, and perhaps there's something that's nothing going to save you. But there's a chance, there's always a chance, and there's always a choice. A choice in our life to do something different, the choice in our life to embrace in what we believe in. And what is the best thing than to believe in yourself, than to believe in the message that you're receiving. So if I have received a message or felt a message that for the love of the God, why cannot we change? Then I believe in myself, this is my message that I share here with you. But it is not just to share the message, it is to find the tool that you take with you and you will apply the tool. And I ask myself, what is that tool? What it is? And it says, well, what do you use? I used to consciously look at the programming. I used to consciously look at my talks. I sit back and I'm looking at it. What does the human ever think? And what does the spiritual higher self ever think? It's almost like there are two parts of me. Not that I have any split personality, but there's this human part that is afraid, the human part who fights for the survival, the human part who wants to have a house, the human part who wants to go on the vacation. And there's this spiritual ever. Now, I did disconnect myself from materialistic things pretty good, not to, put it in a bad way. But there's a spiritual, have a higher self that will say, hey, just relax. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this way and that way? You don't have to be just, be caught up in this survival ever, because you are missing the higher picture of how many great things you can do. So there's often times where I have to tell the human Eva says, you know what, sweetie, just sit back. It's okay. Let the spirituality take over. You are safe. I never gonna get rid of you, because that's what makes us survive. And find that balance, so my energy doesn't fight and struggle with one another, but it will harmonize, or it harmonize and complement each other. And I think that's a big thing, because we are here living in the three-dimensional bodies on the earth. Yes, our spirit, our soul, our energy can be in the 5D or higher or God knows where. It can. Why not? But if your physical body manifests the physical body, if you pinch yourself and you feel the pain, if your stomach grumbles and you like to eat the food, then you are in the physical body and you have to make it work. Now, what is the good of it? To be just up there and have the physical shelf that hardly surviving here and doesn't know what to do. So this is the point. For the love of the God, bring the God within you. Embrace the love and figure it out how to make this work. It starts with each of us. It starts with this, that is stop ourselves and stop hating one another. Forgive yourself. When you forgive yourself, you can forgive to the others. When you're finding yourself in a situation that is hard and difficult, find a time, don't fit in it. Now I'm going to tell you a very silly example. Over the weekend, I went to the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, went for the iced coffee, and the drive-thru was stuck, and you have to have a space to get out of there, because there's this little tiny circle around the building at this particular location. And there was a driver who really wanted to get in, but if he would get in, he's gonna get blocked the whole circle. So the car that actually got served cannot leave. This car cannot move there, because this car doesn't move. There's no extra space to move. So it really is on this one tiny car here to back out, so this car can move and it can back in. Well, it was my turn. Of course, the car who was backing back and forth, he got really frustrated. I don't know if somebody cut him off before, probably did. So I was about to leave my window, and the guy just refused to back out, the one who particularly stood there. And I said, oh my God, do I have to honk at him? Do I have a choice? I'm kind of like try to stare him down, like, can you please move? I really don't want to honk. And I really like my iced coffee here. That's why I came here. And the car behind me honked, the loudest honk you can ever hear. And I go like, oh my God, it looks like I honk. Well, the guy in the car showed me the finger. Show me the finger, exactly like that. And I'm staring at him, I was like, oh my God, he just showed me the finger. And I started to laugh. And I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. I just says, okay, he's really frustrated. He wants his breakfast or coffee or whatever it is. And I said, oh my God, if people are able to just start the road rage over the cup of the coffee. Well, I guess the people in the line figured it out that this guy's not going to move. So they squeeze one to another so he can squeeze a little bit more in. And I could get out and just to leave. And instead of, me carrying the grudge for the rest of the day, like, oh my God, he showed me the finger. How dare he did it for the coffee, blah, 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 blah. I let it go. I laugh at it and I say, well, thank you. That's a great way, right? And I just laugh it off. There's this, I feel it as a waste of the energy to put any grudge into it. And it goes to anything. If somebody does something bad to you, should you go and revenge them? You shouldn't. I mean, it's bad things are happening in this world, but where they going to end? They end with each of us. I know that there are many stories and examples that you can tell me right now, and you tell me I would act absolutely differently. I hear you. I get it. It does take a lot to overcome some unfairness and what happened here and there and so much on. But this is just the point of we have to stop. We have to bring the God within us and feel the love and believe in yourself that you can change, that we can change the things and so much on. So anyway, here goes the message, and here we're gonna go and embark on the our meditation, and we will go and we will look into our subconscious mind. We're gonna go and look into the energies and see how we can take that energy and transform it, and how we can see it and do it. Also, a tapping method which you can do every single one at home for the releasing of your subconscious mind is the tapping on the side of your knee. I will just show it here. You do one tap and another tap on your knees, sort of side on the knee. And I feel like in the heartbeat, the rhythm. And you're gonna use the eye movement. So if I tap my left knee, I just move my eyes left. I tap my right knee, I move my eye right. So I go left, right, left, right, left, right. And I feel I may have some subconscious problems of the issue. I feel I have a fears, and you don't know why do you have a fears. So if you know that you have a fear, so the hatred, you may have it, you may feel like, I'm so angry, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I'm so angry. Great example. I'm sure we all have been there. And he says, well, I'm angry. I don't know why. So it must be in your subconsciousness. This must be something that, triggers you and so much on. So you do the tapping and he says, okay. So I invited all the divine within. I embrace my anger. I acknowledge my anger. I love my anger because it is just the energy, the emotion that you have. And you keep tapping and think of that anger and starting to bring up. And perhaps there comes something and suddenly you feel like you are really angry at your mother. And for whatever reason, maybe something that's happened before you were born, or when you were born, from the past life. And so you says, okay, I'm really angry, and I'm right now really angry at my mother, and I'm gonna release it. And you're tapping and you do the eye movement. When you do the eye movement, you confuse. When you're tapping and do your eye movement, you confuse your energy within your body, and your subconscious mind cannot logically think and send the information into your logic mind and let it go out. And then when you feel it's coming out, you breathe it out. You share it out, you breathe it out. It's almost you cough it out in the little pieces, and may come over and over and over again. So whenever you feel that you're coming out in that distress situation, you feel the fears, the anger, you feel that there is something, you sit down and you start tap again. Left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, right side. It is very easy. And you let it come out, whatever comes, and suddenly you can find yourself saying the things that you are not even thinking. So you will it may take even a few days until you get to that point, but it's absolutely a great exercise. When suddenly the things will be surfacing and you say, oh my God, please forgive me about this and that, or I forgive myself about this and that. And you will be surprised what may come out. Now, anything, what comes out, don't let it scares you. Embrace it as a kind of the information that you release and you let go. For the love of the God, you let it go. You can totally say that. I have never been used to saying this sentence, but I like it. I really, really like it because there is a love of the God, but it's within us. We don't have to serve the God. So God doesn't want us to serve him. God wants us to embrace it and be good people. To serve us, but in a good and positive way. God doesn't need any slaves or the servants, and neither do we. We don't need any slaves and any servants. That's what the Essenes came to teach us. That's what the Jesus Christ came to teach us. That we are powerful gods ourselves. That we have that energy. That we have everything that we need inside. So for your own love of the God, for the own love of Eva, and love of anybody out there, love of Daniel, and love of Eduardo, and I know there's a bunch of you in the chat room, which I, not checking right now. Whoops, my screen. Share here, jump back and forth. That's what it is. So for the love of yourself, love yourself. You don't need anybody else to love you. When you feel that you're looking for the love so desperately, when you feel like I'm so sad, nobody loves me, look at yourself and says, do you really love yourself? Are you able to stay by the mirror, to look in your eyes and honestly says, I love you. You are awesome. You are so great. You are amazing. So perhaps one of those things can be, I'm releasing the fear of love, because Maybe you have been hurt by the love. Maybe you have a fear of the love. Well, hurt by the love will create a fear of the love and so much on, or fear of the love of yourself and so much on. I mean, there are so many things that happened to us in the past lives that create our soul PTSD, post-traumatic disorders that is within our souls, and we learn to heal it. Why we learn to heal it? Because we are becoming God-like, because we are embracing that godliness, if that sounds good, if that's the word, I have no idea. We're embracing the godliness within us. I mean, the God. Now the English is really confusing my head, but we embrace that within us, and no one is better than the other. I'm not better than you. You are not better than me. Maybe you can think so. No, but I wanted to say that we are all equal, and that's a beautiful way. It is. It's if you ever travel down to the Charleston, the South Carolina, you will meet so many people who treat you equally, who will not look at you that I'm better than you, or I know more than you, I have more than you. Everybody here is so friendly and very equal. It's a wonderful city. It's a wonderful place, and I'm being very blessed and privileged to live here. And so let's do the meditation. Let's have a sip of water. I have my wonderful Star Wars cup here. All right. Let's get ready. We have a music from the Sanaya Roman and from the Thaddeus. And it's a royalty-free music. And as you say, I'm going back and forth with the messages today, but again, there's a reason for it. When I'm going back and forth with a message, I'm confusing the subconscious mind, which again may feel that you are confused. And we sneak that message in, and we're going to go through that conscious mind saying, hey, you have been programmed, buddy, and it's time that we reprogram you the way that we want to be. I want to be fearless. I want to be love. I am a God. I want to be abundant. I want to be happy. But all that is about me. The underlying energy behind that is, what is it that I can do for you so I can have all this? What is it that you need, for this world need, so I can have all this? So if I am a love, then I think this world needs a love. So I become a love because this world needs this love energy. So what the most beautiful and great thing is to share it. I become a light. This world needs a light. So I will become a light for this world. I'll become a light channel for this world because this is what this world needs. Does this world need abundance? Does my street needs, people who live on my street needs abundance? I often joke that this is the entrepreneur. I cannot pronounce it. My daughter's gonna get a kick out of that. Entrepreneur, the business mount here. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna practice that word. I practice it so many times, still cannot say it. I just cannot say it. I mean, the business people live here, and I'm sending that energy here that everybody on the street owns a great and wonderful business, and there are quite a few people who do that. It is not I'm abundant. Everybody here is abundant, and I'm just privileged to live and to bring that energy here. So everybody here is greatly abundant and happy and joyful living here, and so much on. So instead of just thinking of myself and programming for myself, I'm programming it for the whole world, because that is the greatest secret out there. When you're creating the things for the world, for the others, and you look what they need, that will comes back to you, and it's easy to become it and be the catalyst or the channel of that energy for that. So anyway, guys, the meditation. I cannot stop talking today. All right. Make yourself comfortable. Sit down, lie down. Make yourself very, very comfortable. Take a deep breath in. Release all the air out. Take another deep breath in. And let go of all your worries and all your expectations. And one more deep breath in. And let everything go. There's this beautiful golden light that opens just about our head. And this beautiful golden light fills your room with very serene, calm light. Very warm, serene, peaceful energies. And we invited the gods who I see as a Pleiadians, Andromedians, Syrians, all gods from the light star nations who would like to connect with us today. If you know your star nation and you wish to join with them, please call upon them. We have opened a beautiful column of the energies where they can join with you rather easily. And we're going to invite the highest energy of the God, of the Creator, of the everlasting energy. That is no male and no female. There is no identity, no name. And we take that higher energy and bring it in this beautiful golden column of light. And we invite the energies of the earth. Come and join us at this time. Ela siunkalia tia si. Kia hala sum tia ka. Elia sum tia ka la si. And we will invite the medic team. Those who are familiar with the medic team know that a team of the light beings who have experienced the earth life, who have been the doctors, the healers, the surgeons in their past lives, come through and assist with a deep physical healing. We ask and thank to these beings to come by to those who wish to have them by the side. And you can say it out loud, you can say it in your mind, you can put the hands on any part of your body that you need assistance with or you require the assistance with. And I feel the merge has been done. We have invited the medic team to come in. And the beings of the Syrian Star Nation will lead this medic team session for today. Leon Leaka Siun Tiakate La Sa Esiun Tianiate. And we bring the energy from the earth below your feet, up in your feet, in the bottom of your feet, in the ankles, up in your knees, all the way up in the hips. Red center opens wide, going up into the orange center, open wide, the yellow center open wide, up into the green center, open wide, up into the light blue center, open wide, the dark blue center, open wide, the violet center, open wide, up about the head and up into the universe. Keleon tia ka sium tia la ti, esianti kia sa aneate, elioha sium tia ani. And when you feel ready, we'll take this golden light within your heart chakra. That's where your soul seed, your soul energy gathers within this place. And we take the golden light. When you are ready, a beautiful golden door opens. And you stand out through this door. Up into the golden elevator. And you're gonna go up and up and up. Kioa sa. Ekiua la tiesa. Tiacha sium telea ata. Now through this elevator, you walk into the room. It is the ancient Atlantean classroom. And today we will learn how to read from the book of life. to understand your subconsciousness and your human programming. Eliataki santi yuaneatasi. Eliaka eliosonti yuaha. Esiuntiaki. Please take a position in a circle around the floor. You can do this in your imagination, you can feel it. If you don't, just go with the energy flow. You will sit in the lotus position and imagine that there are the lotus energy all around us. It's like you each sit on the lotus, draw flower and the circle, and in the center of the circle is a crystal with a rose color on the top. It is a light crystal, a clear crystal with a reddish, pinkish color on the top. Ela tiakiasan tiun tiala. Esiun kiata leasea tiata. We're going to use this crystal as the central mind of the intelligence, as a connection or connector to the energies through you in your book of life, or as anybody else can call the Akashic record. Now, before we do this, we want you to make an intent within your mind of what it is that you want to see. Now, since we talk about the programming and the program instilled in the subconscious mind, this should become our intent for today. Create the intent within your mind. I want to read from my book of life to see my subconscious programming, my left side of the physical energies. Bring that energy within your soul, within your heart, or in your light. If you just imagine you are light in your light, now you project that energy toward the pink top part of the crystal. It's like you are go on the top of this crystal. Now we go out and in the crystal. So you are going in the computer settings. And when you zip in this crystal within your energy, it's almost you are taking a flash drive, or you're taking a plug and you plug yourself to this computer of the central intelligence. When you are there, imagine the information is coming back to you. You can imagine that you open a book, that you read from a book. And I intend this, what it is that controls my left side of the brain. What it is program. What program do I have in my subconscious mind? And I speak the language of light. Get all the impressions, the feeling, ideas talked. Don't overjudge them. Don't overthink them. Just take it as they come. We will analyze them later. See you. Aha. Kieka. Diu ahalia san diu akea. Dieliaka. Diu akatia. Dio sun dia akea. Don't be afraid to feel the emotions or the feelings that may not be exactly the one that you want to see or hear or feel. If there's an anger, the hatred, the greed, if there's a fear, the failure, you want to see it all. Don't be afraid of it. To be able to see it and understand it brings the power. For those who question right now, why do I have to see the negative part of it? Because the positive is easy to embrace. Negative is the one that you want to transform and to change and change and transform. Leo Siakantia Lata. And release, even though the release creates the void that you have to replace with something else. Alación tiani. Sion tiata. Now very slowly, if you have a closed eyes right now, try to create an eye movement. Imagine that you're looking at left and right, left and right, left and right, and left and right. Now allow yourself to feel all these feelings, what you feel, whenever it's there 1 or the 10 of them. And tell yourself, I love you. I recognize you. I recognize each one of you. And I am ready to rewrite my subconscious mind. And you erase it from your book. Now imagine that you have a pen. And your pen has a golden ink. And with the golden ink, you write in your book a new programming. I am amazing. I am successful. I am love. I am light. I am the greatest engineer. Or I am the greatest healer. I'm the greatest mother. I'm the greatest wife. Whatever it is that you want in your program. It is your program. No one else has a right to do this for you or to you. No energy, no entity, no God can write in your book of life. Long time ago, the times has been different. Long time ago, it has been decided to instill the same program under all beings living on the earth. Doesn't matter in what kind of the energy they would come in, or what kind of the light and the progression and the highest energy they would come from the universe to be in the service on the earth. Each of them would come with the same very similar programming. The consciousness would be confused, the energy would be scrambled, and the new baby would be born. And depending of the readiness of the soul, the baby would grow and the land and would strive to become the light that it has been once in the stars. Yet man created difficulties. The gods created difficulties. Please notice, I say gods, I don't say God. Those gods from other star nation, the planet, who liked to have a power, created difficulty. They instill more programs within the mind, within the energy, because it was easy to do. And the mankind has been enslaved for the many years. Then the son of the God came to this place and taught us that we do not have to be like that. That we can take and wipe our sheet paper clean. And we can write our own programming. Because we have a light of the God, of the Creator within us. Because we have a love of the God and the Creator within us. We have a love of one another within us. Imagine that the biggest enemy you have long, long, long time ago has been your best friend. And how many times it happens that the best friends, even in this lifetime, becomes the worst enemies. Why? Why did this happen? Because one could not agree with the other. Because one could not put down the ego than the other. Because one has to prove that is right or the better than the other. And if the other one says, I will not listen this, I will not be powered by this force, the negative energy and the hatred is created. Why one cannot love one another and says, okay, I love you, brother, I love you, sister, yet I have to walk my own way because I'm not sharing the same message as you, same wisdom, same belief. Yet I bless you and I wish you well on your journey. That is love. That is a true power of love. That is a true power of the creation. That is a true power of within you. You are strong. You are smart. And you have incredible power within you. Sometimes the power of letting go is stronger than the power to create. What good is of the creation and the create when you cannot let go, when you cannot let grow, when you cannot let it be better than you? And so the true teacher said, grow, my children, and learn. Become smarter and wiser than I. And I bow in the front of you, and I kiss your feet, and I will be humble to learn from you. That is the beautiful circle of life. That is the beautiful circle of the energy. That is the beautiful circle of the creation. When you feel you are amazing, when you feel that your programming is absolutely pure and beautiful and honest, and the benefit of this world, if your programming is in resonance what people need, what this world need, and if the people in the world learn from this programming and learn something more greater and better that benefit everyone in the greatest and amazing way, and you can say, wow, I created that and I can learn that too. That is the creation that raise up higher and higher and higher. That is the energy that lifts every one of us up. And so for the love of the God, let's embrace this energy. Let's embrace this power within you, within each single of us. Let's let the light of the Creator shine upon us. And know that you mirror every single ability from the upper high Creator. That you mirror every single ability from your star nations, from the Pleiadians, Sirians, Andromedians, Arcturians, and so many, many, many others. You are as good as they are. You are equal. Just because the Pleiadians have a blue body and you have a white body, doesn't mean that you are much different. You are brave. You are light and you are love. Kia la siete. So finish writing in your book of all the programming that you wish to. And know that you can use this process and come here as many times as you want to. Kia la santi uniate. Dia kala santiene. Dia wom de la asiete. Tia ha. Tia wum telasa tiata. And we come back and back and back. I see these beautiful crystals line up in the celebration of our energies and of the journey that we have taken. And as these crystals are lining up, we take our light and we notice our circle, a beautiful light around us, Kia Son Tealata. And we thank everyone who assisted us here today. And very, very slowly, through the golden door, walk in our physical body. And take a little time just within our body, stretch the legs and the arms and the head. And we thank you, medical team who assisted us today. Definitely been several adjustments done. There was somebody who's here today who needs an eye surgery, I believe on the right eye. The medic team says to go for the second consultant, find somebody who doesn't know about your condition, who's going to go with your eyes and get a second opinion. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna send the medic team out. Close the portal. Kelea siaton tiala tiasa. Tiahon telea hasa. We thank you, everyone who assisted us today. And you are ready. Very, very slowly. Stretch. Get yourself up moving. Stretch within your energies. And there's one last message I want to share with you before you go with your evening. The last one message was, many times we hear the phrase, be in the image of your creator, or I want to be image of my creator. I want to be in the image of my God, and so much on, because we says the God mirrors within us, the Pleiadians mirror within us. And again, when I said the Pleiadians, any other star nation apply to the same thing. But if it says I want to be in the mirror of somebody that I have not really seen in my lifetime. I just read the books and hear the image. I create an image in my head. And that is what I'm creating. You have to create some kind of the image. But it doesn't really matter that you say, I want to be in the image of my God, my Pleiadian, and so much on. What matter is that you will be image of the person who you want to be. That is one of our old programming that we all have. We want to be image of someone or something, but we don't even know what that someone and something is. If I would know that the Pleiadians are the ambassadors of the love, then I want to be image of the Pleiadians, the ambassadors of the love. That is a concrete thing or a saying or something that I can understand too. And that is absolutely correct and right to do so. So when you state your intentions like that, when you write it in your book of life, please understand consciously of what does it mean. Don't get in that subconscious programming with the things that you don't know what they mean. If I want to be a perfect size, always try to use these physical examples. What is the perfect size? What is the perfect size? Is it the size 0? Is it a size 6? Is it a size 14? What is the perfect size, So I may think that for my body, the size 8 is the perfect size, because that's when I feel great and good and comfortable. And so what? I'm not a skinny mini. It's okay. You have to state what it is for you, what makes you feel good, that you find yourself that you don't really run your life pleasing to be somebody that you may not even want to be, or who you are not. Find what you like, find what you don't like, and whatever fear scares you, whatever brings you that kind of the feeling, tap it out. Please remember, left side, right side, in the heartbeat, eye movement, the left side, right side, it's synchronized. It is really, it will become a little bit hard in the beginning and you may feel confused. I found that the people who have a controlling issues have a really hard time with it, but it does work. So I thank you everybody who joined today. Let me see. I thank you everyone uh, who is there in the chat room. I can find the English words. Uh, Ascension Teddy, I want just to tell you that you are close with the Pleiadians. If you have really the feeling that you want to be with them, you have the desire that you can't even explain why, that's most likely that you have lived there for some time. Your soul may created there and so much on a part of it, when descended from the God, you went to this places where we grew and we get more consciousness and so much on. When you feel close to the Pleiadians, Pleiadians are close to you. They are the soul healers, they are love, they are light. So all you have to do is to feel the love within your heart and you are close to the Pleiadians. There's this beautiful emotional energy. If you need to get yourself a star tracker and track the stars, look in the skies where the Pleiadian constellation is right now, and imagine yourself progressing that energy back and forth. But please remember, they want you to use everything that they know in the land to come back to your body. Now, this gonna, guys, help you or not, but I do believe that the Essenes, the Jesus Christ, and so much on have been the part of the Pleiadians. So it helps me to connect with those energy because, in my belief, that's where they come from. That's where they brought their love and new teaching and totally different things than where people used to hear before them, and so much on. Find that somebody that you can identify yourself with, and you says, okay, so I'm close to them, and I can do with this. Pleiadians don't want you to sit here every single day and says, "Oh, I cannot be close to them. Oh my God, this is too sad. Why didn't pop up in my living room? It'd be great if they pop up right here, right? We'll be out of this world." But they are with you, with your heart. They connect with you telepathically. You can get a piece of the Moldavite, the beautiful Moldavite that is found only in the Czech Republic. That it says that the stone came from the Pleiades about 15 million years ago. Definitely helps me connect much closer with them and so much on. So please know that they are with you, and whenever you state that you want to be close to them, they are close to you. So just feel them. That's all what it is. All right, guys. I'll see you in the 2 weeks, and I love you, love you, love you. It's been a wonderful time to spend this hour with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for walking with me on this wonderful journey, for listening my message and going back and forth in your head and saying, where is it gonna fit? Thank you for who you are. Thank you for believing in yourself. Thank you for finding that God within you. Thank you for not following everybody's beliefs blindly. I mean, there are great beliefs and I like them too, and I repeat many of these amazing people, but I like to look at it from Eva's point of view. Does Eva like this? Does it resonate with Eva? It doesn't resonate with me. And so much on. And the same with my belief. Take what works for you, create your own belief and share it out there in the world. Let's put out the hatred and differences and why I cannot be like you, and be ourselves. Be yourself is the most wonderful and the beautiful thing that we can do for ourselves. Let the God in for the love of the God. Let the love in. I love you, and I'll see you in the 2 weeks. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining with me today.